Hi there, Smart Drivers. Rick with Smart Drive Test talking to you today about parallel parking for the purposes of passing a road test and how to parallel park between cones. So stick around, we'll be right back with that information. Hi there, Smart Drivers. Welcome back. Rick with Smart Drive Test talking to you today about parallel parking between cones. I had a comment from Nicole. I also had a comment from Nicholas Mazer, and both of those smart drivers wanted me to do a video on how to park between cones for the purposes of passing a road test. About a year ago, I also had requests from Nightmare 666, who also wanted me to do this, and I should have done this a lot earlier, so I do apologize for the delay in getting this video up for you, but that's what we're going to work on today. Now, the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need those 36-inch tall, 1 meter tall pylons, sometimes called delineators, and you can pick those up at a rental shop for about $10 for 4 of them for the day, so they're inexpensive. Now, just before we get started here, if you're new to Smart Drive Test, Smart Drive Test helps new drivers get a license regardless of class, whether you're going for a car, truck, or bus. We help you pass any one of those road tests. As well, we help commercial drivers start a career as a truck or bus driver. So if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. As well, hit that bell. That way you'll get instant notification to the videos when I get them up for you. Now, parallel parking between cones for the purposes of passing a road test. If you haven't seen the parallel park video already, about parking behind a single vehicle or between two vehicles, definitely have a look at that. I'll put the card up in the corner for you and have a look at that video. Now, parallel parking between cones tends to be a little bit easier because you got better reference points, and we're going to go over that. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to set up the cones. You want to set up the cones, as you can see here in the video, approximately a foot wider than what the vehicle is. So you want to put the cone 12 inches to 20 centimeters on either side of the car, on the passenger side and the driver's side. And for the length of the vehicle, you want to put the cones 1.5 vehicle lengths. So simply park your vehicle where you want it to end up when you finish your parallel park, place the cones at the front, and then approximately another half a length behind the vehicle, put the cones behind the vehicle at approximately the same distance on the driver's side and the passenger side. As you get better and better and more comfortable with parallel parking, you can move them in and narrow the space that you're going to park into. But most of these driving centers, the cones are going to be 1.5 vehicle length distance between the front and the back. And the reason for that is because any tighter than that, and it's just too difficult for new drivers to be able to do that. So that's how you set up the cones. It's not a specific feet and inches or measurement for setting the cones up. Just put them around your vehicle and make them relative. And as I said, as you get better and better and you're working on this aspect of preparation for your road test, just move the cones in closer, and essentially that's all it is. So what we're going to do here is we're going to hook up the cameras, the other cameras, so you can see everything going on here, and we're going to do a couple of parallel parks, and I'll go through it step by step and give you instructions on how to do this. So we come up here and we line up the vehicle so we're about 2 to 3 feet away from the pylon at the front. And essentially what we want to do, it's the same as in the other parallel park video. We want to bring it so we can see that pylon through the back window right at the back corner there, and you can see that in the image there where you want to line that up. Okay, we put our signal on to the right, put the vehicle into reverse because we want the reverse lights to activate right away, and we're ready to back up. Now on this one, it's a lot easier because you don't have to pick out a 45-degree parallel. All you need to do is turn the steering wheel all the way to the right, and then when you see the two pylons in the back, that's when you know to straighten your steering wheel out. So we start to back up, we turn the steering wheel all the way to the right, and we back up and we watch this mirror here. And as we're backing up, we're almost there. We can see the two pylons now in the mirror here. You can see that in the image. When you can see the two mirrors, we straighten our steering wheel out and we bring this pylon all the way so it's just past the pillar on the front of the vehicle here. And when that's on the front of the pillar, we turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, and we nice and easy, gently bring it back, and we look behind us so we don't drive into the pylons. And when the vehicle, and you want to stop and pause and look and make sure that you're straight forward here. As you're straight forward here, that's when you put it into a forward gear, and we pull up, we straighten our steering wheel out, and we drive forward until we're just close to the pylons at the front of the vehicle, and you can see that in the camera there. And that's all there is to it. It's actually easier, I believe, to parallel park between cones. First of all, the fear and trepidation of actually hitting another vehicle is gone, because if you bump a cone, it's not a big deal. If you bump somebody's car, it's a big deal, because then you got insurance and, you know, the shame of actually telling them that you hit their car and those sorts of things. So it's actually easier. So this is a great exercise for you to learn how to drive and learn spatial relationships of your vehicle when you're doing slow speed maneuvers. So, you know, get a bit rammy with it and figure out where the vehicle is in space and place, and this will help you do that. And we're going to go around, we're going to do one more parallel park, and it's the same thing for the purposes of the road test. Once you get to this point here, you put the vehicle into a forward gear, hold the foot brake and apply the parking brake, and then shut the vehicle off, because you're going to do a road test, and on a road test they expect you to leave the vehicle, so you're going to secure the vehicle. You can hear it beeping, but you secure the vehicle. So you keep your foot on the foot brake, apply the parking brake into a forward gear. It's going to be into park on an automatic, and then you shut the vehicle off. Now, for the purposes of a road test, you're probably not going to shut it off, but we're going to do that. So in with the clutch, start it up, into reverse. You got your foot on the foot brake, release the parking brake, look behind you, back up so you're near the cones. And again, this is an exercise that you can do and backing up. Okay, mirror signal shoulder check, over to the left, into a forward gear, into drive for those of you driving an automatic in North America, and we simply shoulder check again before we move immediately. And you go slow, because remember, the vehicle turns sharper the slower you go. The slower you go, the sharper the vehicle turns. That's true with any vehicle. So that's how you come out. Mirror signal shoulder check all the way to the left, and then steer it around to the other side, and we'll go back around and we'll do it one more time, and we'll make sure you got all the pieces in place for you to parallel park between cones. All right, we're coming up. We got our signal on. Before we're coming up, we're positioning the vehicle 2 to 3 feet away from the cones. We position the vehicle so we can see the cone in the window, at the rear of the window on the passenger side, the back door of the passenger side. Okay, into reverse right away. We've got our signal on. Okay, we don't need to pick out a 45 on this one, because what we're going to do is we're going to see the 2 cones in the mirrors. Okay, we start moving the vehicle back all the way to that way, to the right on the steering wheel. And we look in this mirror, and we can see both cones in this mirror. That's when you straighten the wheel out. 1.5 turns back this way will straighten the wheel out. We come back until the front cone is just in front of the pillar. So now we've got the front cone and the pillar, and now we turn the steering wheel all the way to the left. Nice and slow going back. And we look out the back window, come back, and just about straight right there. We're straight in the space into a forward gear. And we bring the steering wheel all the way back 1.5 turns to the right to bring it to straight. We're actually going to bring the front end just a little bit over, and we pull up so we're just near the cones, and then we stop. Great, so we're in the space, we've secured the vehicle, we've shut it off, and now we're going to get ready to leave again. You put your foot on the foot brake, release the parking brake, into reverse, look out the back window and back up near the cones. And we back up near the cones, we're near the cones, left signal on, forward gear, mirror signal shoulder check, he's not too close, and go nice and slow, because again, it'll turn sharper the slower you go. So we nice and slow out of the parking space and around the curve, the cone, and that's all there is to it. Quick review of parallel parking between cones for the purposes of passing a road test. All of the landmarks, all of the same techniques and skills that you saw in the parallel parking video behind another vehicle apply to parking between cones. The only difference is the reference points are a little bit different. You still want to pull up so you see the first cone at the front appear in the passenger side back door window, and you can see that in the image here where you want that marker to be. Then you turn the steering wheel all the way to the right, back up until you can see the two cones at the rear in the driver's side mirror. When you can see that, then you straighten your wheel out and continue to back up until you can see the front cone just past the pillar on the passenger side, and then you turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, continue to back in until the vehicle's straight. And the other thing is that when you back in and the vehicle's straight, don't just be looking backwards, look forward too, and that will give you a reference point of whether the vehicle is straight in the space or not. Once you get straight in the space, then you simply pull up, do a bit of an adjustment to get the vehicle straight in the space, and then you secure the vehicle. Keep your foot on the foot brake, apply the parking brake, put it into a forward gear if you're driving a manual transmission. If you're driving an automatic, put it into park, because for the purposes of the road test, they're going to want to see that you can secure the vehicle, because they're anticipating that you're going to leave because you've parked the vehicle and you're leaving, right? So you need to secure the vehicle. Then when you leave, you put the vehicle in reverse, back up. You need to look out the back window before you put the vehicle in motion. That is imperative on a road test, because if you don't look before you put the vehicle in motion, unfortunately you're going to fail your road test. You won't be successful. So you back up close to the cones at the back, and then put your left signal on, mirror signal, shoulder check, and then begin to pull out. And then just before you pull out, shoulder check again. And remember, the slower you go, the sharper the vehicle turns. So make sure you go slow doing these maneuvers. And this is a really good exercise. As you get better and better at it, you can move the cones in closer, and that way it'll teach you how to drive. It'll also teach you where the vehicle is in space and place while you're learning how to drive. So that's how you can do it between cones. Question for my smart drivers. Do you have a driving center that is going to get you to parallel park between cones for the purposes of a road test? Leave a comment down in the comment section there. All of that helps out the new drivers working towards getting their license and passing a road test. If you like what you see here, share, subscribe, leave a comment down in the comment section. As well, hit that thumbs up button. Head over to the Smart Drive Test website and pick up Pass Your Road Test First Time. It's a course for new drivers that will ensure and guarantee that you pass both your theory and your practical test first time, because you don't want to fail, especially if you have to go to school the next day and tell your friends you weren't successful on your road test. So look down in the description there, get the 30% off coupon. You'll pick that course up for about 28 bucks, about half the price it'll cost you to retake your road test. So head over to the Smart Drive Test website, get that course, and pass your road test first time, because we all know failing a road test is a real drag. I'm Rick with Smart Drive Test. Thanks very much for watching. Good luck on your road test, and remember, pick the best answer, not necessarily the right answer. Have a great day. Bye now. I had a comment from Nicole. I knew I was going to get that wrong. Nicole.